Like Adobe Photoshop and Lightroom, Adobe Premiere Pro is an incredibly rich program for creating a variety of video content, from DSLR videos to major motion pictures. This brief video will provide you with some basic skills to start you on the road to turning your DSLR footage into a finished movie that you can share with others. In this video, we're going to quickly explore the interface, bring some movie clips into a project, edit them together, refine the edit, and export them as a finished movie. There are four main windows or panels in Premiere Pro: the Project panel, where you organize and access your media; the Source panel, where you select what part of a clip you want to edit; the Timeline, where you place and organize your video clips; and the Program panel, where you can see how your final video looks. It doesn't matter which computer operating system you use, the user interface and controls are identical. The first thing you should do is copy the media off your camera card onto your hard drive. This step is very important as Premiere Pro does not embed any media into the project. It creates aliases or pointers to the original media. This means if you start to edit off your camera card and then later eject that camera card, all your media will go offline, and Premiere Pro won't be able to edit it. And if you happen to erase that card, well, your media is gone. After you copy the media to your computer, you are ready to launch Premiere Pro and import your media. So launch the app, give your project a name, and save your project. Next, you need to point Premiere Pro to the media you want to edit. Now, different DSLRs capture video in different formats. Some cameras save video files as separate movie files. Others save them in bundles or packages that may not be easily recognized by your operating system. As a matter of fact, it can even play movies compressed with formats that your computer's operating system may not be able to play. Open the media browser. It's the tab next to the Project tab. Locate the folder holding your camera card's copied media. Now, you may need to dig into a subfolder to find your media. That's okay. Different cameras are putting the media in different locations. When you find the correct folder, you will see icons representing all the movie clips and images. If you are only seeing a list of clips, click on the button on the lower corner of the pane to switch to icon view. Now hover over any of the clips without actually selecting them, and you can scrub through them. Scrubbing means quickly playing the movie forwards and backwards to get a sense of what's in it. Select the clips you want to use, and right-click on them to import them into the Project panel. Now you're ready to edit. Editing video is kind of like editing paragraphs in a word processor. When writing, you insert words and sentences into a document. You might delete a word here or there to tighten up your story, and you may even rearrange the sentences to tell your story in a different way. Editing video is not too different. You insert video clips, delete excess parts of the video to tighten up your story, and even rearrange the order of your clips to tell your story in a different way. Once you import your media, you need to create a timeline and choose which parts of each clip you want to edit into your project. To select our first clip, let's click back on the Project tab in the lower left pane, and you can see all the clips that we imported. If you double-click on any of the clips in the Project panel, they will load into the Source window. Here, you can select what part of each clip you want in your movie. That way, you don't have to use the entire clip when there's only a portion that interests you. To view your media, you can grab the pointer and drag it back and forth through the clip, or use the playback controls under the video. When you see the point where you want the video to start, click on the button with the left curly bracket to mark a start or end point. Alternatively, you could press the I key on your keyboard to mark an end point. Play to the point where you want the clip to end, and press the right curly bracket button, or press the O key on your keyboard to mark an out point. Now drag that clip from the Source panel onto the new item icon at the bottom of the Project panel. This creates a sequence perfectly matching all the parameters of your clip. and the sequence will have the same name as the clip you just dragged. To change this name to something more meaningful, click on the drop-down menu on the Sequences tab and select Reveal Sequence in Project. Click on the sequence name in the project pane and rename it to something more appropriate. Add a second clip to your sequence. This time, I will just drag and drop a clip from the project panel into the source window and mark in and out points. If you need to change an in or an out point, you can simply grab it and drag it. Now grab the clip from the source monitor and drag it directly to the sequence window. Wherever you let go of your mouse, Premiere Pro will place the clip. You will want to position it to the right of the first clip. As it approaches the end of the first clip, it should snap to it like a magnet. If you let go at the wrong place, gently drag the second clip over to the end of the first clip and the gap will close. Now, be careful not to drag it too far, as you may overwrite the tail end of the first clip. It's important to note that editing your media in Premiere Pro is non-destructive. You are never modifying the original files. And similar to Photoshop and Lightroom, you can always undo with Command-Z or Control-Z, depending on your operating system. One difference from the way this works in Lightroom and Photoshop is that each time you press Command or Control-Z in Premiere Pro, you step further back through your history. And of course, to redo or move back forward through your history, Shift-Command or Shift-Control-Z. Here are a couple of tips to control and manage your timeline. First, the sequence must be active. This means there's a blue border around it. If it's not, simply click on it. Now, if you press the plus key on your keyboard, you will zoom into a more detailed view of the timeline. If you press the minus key, you will zoom out to a more global view. The backslash key will fit your entire timeline into the window. And it's a toggle, so pressing it again will return you to your original zoom level. The vertical blue line is called the playhead. You can drag it left and right, and it will show you the frame of video that it's on. The up and down arrow keys jump the playhead to the previous and following edits. And the spacebar will play from wherever the playhead is positioned. Say you want to insert a new clip in between the first and second clip. I'll load the clip into the source monitor and mark an in and out point. If I just drag the clip onto the timeline, over the second clip, it'll just overwrite it, replacing it on the timeline. However, if I hold down the Command key on a Mac or the Control key in Windows, while dragging the clip, the overlay changes, showing a series of small triangles pointing to the right. Now when I let go of the mouse, the clip is inserted in between the first two clips. To move a clip, just click and drag it. When you let go, the clip is positioned wherever you drop it. Now be careful. If the clip you are moving is dragged and then dropped over any existing clips, those clips will get overwritten. So just like before, hold down the Command or the Control key while dragging a clip to insert it and move all of the other clips down the timeline to the right. To remove a clip, select it and press the Delete key. This removes the clip and leaves an empty space where the clip was. Let's undo that. If I hold down the Option or the Alt key and press Delete, then the clip is removed and the gap is closed. Now let's say you want to trim off some extra footage at the end of a clip already in your sequence. Position the cursor directly over the end of the clip and the cursor changes to a red bracket. The arrow on the bracket indicates which clip you will be adjusting. Drag the edge of the clip to where you want your shot to end and let go. I can trim the front of the following clip the same way. To delete a gap that remains after a clip is trimmed, simply click on the empty space and press Delete. Now let's export your video. Under the File drop-down menu, select Export and then Media. This Export Settings dialog box will pop up. Premiere Pro gives you amazing control in exporting a movie, as you can see by all of these choices, but it also has presets to make exporting much easier. Next to Format, choose H.264. Now you can go to the Preset drop-down menu and choose exactly the type of media you want to create. In this case, I will choose YouTube 1080p HD. Next, click on Output Name to rename the movie and choose where it should be saved. Finally, click Export. The movie is encoded and saved. Simple as that.